So sometimes they don't lock the gate or cops don't come for 2 months, and then they show up other times every night in a row, and just after they close so they can write tickets without closing the gate or telling anybody, or they come 5 minutes of and say you have 5 minutes to leave. So by the time people pack up and leave, they're waiting at the gate to give you tickets. And we'll see here if they're there. You'll see the lights. It's harassment and entrapment. Many times like they did to me last time. They towed my vehicle because my license just expired, even though I had an appointment with the DMV and it had not come yet. And see, there are cops sitting there right there waiting for everybody. There we go. There it is. They're waiting here. So, look at, they got a tow truck ready. They're waiting to give tickets again. Look, they're doing it again. It's a setup. Look, it's a setup. Yeah, they wait and they give tickets at the gate with 5 minutes notice, like they do right here. Look, they're stopping here. This is a park that just closed just now, 1 minute ago. And they block it off so people cannot leave. And they fuck with everybody. This constitutes, it's harassment. It's not done any other place except here. Look, they're giving tickets. This is insane. Giving people tickets. It's 10:04. The park closes at 10 p.m. They block the gates before 10 o'clock. They don't give anybody warning. And then at 4 minutes of, they go around and tell people you gotta leave. The park is closing, and then they wait for you at the gate and give everybody tickets. That's why this is going to federal court. How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
Oh, I was like, what is looking at me?
He's up there.
What's your name?
Paul.
Paul. Didn't I tell you your van, Paul?
Yeah, I'm legal.
Did I see your license?
What's that?
Did I see your license?
I went and got it. Actually went and got it. They sent it to you. Remember I told you when I was in the hospital, I took it. What?
Well, you didn't have a valid license.
It's valid right now.
Okay, let me check. Okay.
Okay.
Are you recording me?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm recording.
I know you are. I actually need from the other night. It's going to federal court. I have 10 agencies that want it. And I was hoping to. No, for detaining me before to leave. It made me leave after 10 o'clock, and then the subsequent.
Last name, please. I forgot.
Grasso. Yeah.
What's your last name? I forgot.
Grasso.
Spell it.
Grasso.
First name.
Paul.
Paul. P-A-U-L. What's your birthday, Paul?
What's that? What?
What was your birthday again?
7/12/1968.
Thank you.
How long do they store these body cam footage for?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to the people who run all the body cam stuff. We just dock it. I don't know how long.
So like after each shift, you dock it, and then it stays on.
It saves somewhere, and then that's the people you have to talk
Okay. And is there a court date that I can go in and have everything rolled into one date?
That's something with the courts. We don't set any of that.
Okay.
The system's down right now, it says.
Yeah.
All right, well,
It's all legit because it's all
All right,
legit.
well.
It's I went there the next day
okay,
to,
that's
to
fine.
ensure that,
You
and
know,
I waited there all day. Oh, here. I think it's a temporary thing. Let's hope.
It's a renewal. It says it's not complete. Oh, if not complete. You got your interim license?
That's it. It's all legit in the system. It's all legit. Believe me.
I'll take your word for it.
I wouldn't say that if it wasn't. I'm gonna.
What year's your or what is it? What month did you stop expired?
What's that?
Registration?
That's renewed. That's renewed as well, but
No, I know, but what it asks for state.
Oh.
Or, I'm sorry, it asks for the.
for the month,
It's one. Hold on one second.
What?
He'll be done in a second.
the month,
Yes,
or
month and date. Month and year it expires.
it expires October 16th, 2019.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's been renewed too, though. 2003. 2003.
What's your VIN number? Can you open the door so I can see the VIN? What do we got here? 5522.
I've never seen parks give tickets for coming at the gate at the exact time of closing. Anywhere in the country.
That's where we started.
Why is that? Why did
They
you?
had complaints about the island. So
Oh, specifically the island.
yes.
Oh,
You're all good to go. Thanks.
thank you. So they block off the gate and then they tow you or ticket you. That's the same guy that detained me and took photos of me without asking me and saying that now I was warned about habitation when the park was open, just like this. They're giving me ticket after ticket. I've gotten now 8 tickets in a matter of 2 days from them. That same cop and his same crew and his supervisor are all in on it, and they give you one after another. The park just closed. It is 10:04. I was in line waiting to get out of there at 10 p.m. and they give you tickets for being there after hours. This is going to be given to federal court as loyal as his body cameras will be subpoenaed for illegal entrapment, profiling, discrimination, and it is even worse when you question them at all. The only reason tonight he acted differently is because the camera was on. So I'm getting a body camera for any encounter with them because they act very predatory and very aggressive. Only when there are cameras on them do they try to act professional, even though he just gave me a ticket at 10:04 p.m. and the park closed at 10 p.m. And there was a history of never coming here for months at a time and closing it. It is selective enforcement purposely so they can make money. They will let people purposely stay there for 5 or 6 days, then they'll come 3 days in a row, knowing that people know fair and well they don't come half the time, and then they show up and just block you off and ticket you, even though it's just at closing time. Much like it doesn't matter. This is all going for evidence. It's time to sue this police department. So they, like he said, specifically targeting certain parks that they just used to let people stay there and now decided they want everybody out of San Diego who can't afford to pay the exorbitant rent here. And by doing, the way they're doing that is basically ticketing you until they can tow your vehicle, or towing your vehicle and ticketing you until you can't afford it and either leave or lose everything. Your last little bit that you have, even though you are disabled like I am and have a placard, they made me get out of my vehicle with my animals, with no of my medication, no blankets, nothing, at nighttime, and walk and towed my vehicle. And I got a ride to pick up my vehicle, and it was almost $400. And the city gets a kickback from the towing agency for $50 for every car they tow, which in itself is conflict of interest and questionable at best and criminal at worst. All this is being documented until a time where they will be sued. So the ticket he gave me was actually a parking ticket, which you can see I was not parked after hours. I was actually leaving as soon as the guy drove through and said the park is closing. It's a setup. Otherwise, they can just come in and give you tickets. But instead, they want to let you know it's time to leave and then give you tickets anyway. Not for people who left their car behind or people who stayed afterwards or came in afterwards. For you who were obeying the signs, and still it must be stopped, and these guys must be fired, and some of them must be jailed for the violation of human rights violations. There's nothing short of predatory, stalking, intimidation, and inhumane and unusual punishment for doing nothing wrong. They have actually hunted me after that night, and going so far as to find me in the morning in a private parking lot, which I paid, which I will show you, pulled in there and gave me a ticket for habitation and warned me that they can take my animals, put me in jail, and tow my vehicle next time, simply for sleeping in my vehicle, which I have a human right to do as of the AB-5 Homeless Bill of Rights. And they are knowingly enforcing an illegal and unconstitutional ordinance over the legislative bill. The only people they're protecting and serving is the mayor and the police chief, who does what the mayor tells him, regardless of what the Constitution says, even though their job and oath is to uphold the Constitution and deliver criminals to the hands of the law, not to harass and intimidate and take people's money and items, the last that they have. I cannot eat for 11 days after that. gathering all my change to feed my dogs so they did not suffer. So now we will get the other body camera delivered in the next few days. And start auditing and standing up for our constitutional rights under the U.S. Constitution, the California Constitution, and also the AB-5 Homeless Bill of Rights, in which they are breaking all federal laws and in violation. And beyond that, intimidation and forcing people to leave or to be traumatized by their hunting and predatory behavior. So this is the street where I came down, and I'll show you the actual private lot, which I paid, and they still pulled in there and gave me a ticket at 10 in the morning when the habitation law says no habitation in San Diego on city streets between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. So I even paid for a space in a private lot so they could not harass me after I got towed the very next night. And they still found me, came in there, ticketed me, and were aggressive right here. Look, down the street where they're, look, going towards the pier, you'll see there's a private lot right here. This is where they came into. It's a little further down. So it's a quiet street. I don't attract attention anyway. I'm 51 years old. I do not make any noise, and there's a bar there. Yet they do not stop anybody coming out from bars and driving drunk at all. They specifically at nighttime hunt for people sleeping in their vehicles and have a list of who they want to get out of here by intimidation because of the threat of the people knowing their rights. This is a lot I pulled into, which I was in. Look, a lot is parked here. Park for the rates I paid. I'm disabled. I paid and still stayed in a disabled spot. Right here. Back in right here. There's not one car in this lot. And yet, 10 in the morning, I paid to stay in a lot at a handicapped spot when I could have stayed in one in the street for free, but because of the illegal ordinance and the harassment, I stayed here, and they still pulled in here, banged on my door at 10 in the morning, and gave me a ticket for habitation, even though I'm private property, stating that I'm in within 500 feet of a residence, and these are all businesses. They hunted me down because that officer you just saw took a photo of me illegally and passed it out for his friends to hunt me down, which they did. I haven't had a ticket here in a year, other than 1 or 2 parking tickets, and I've gotten my truck towed and 7 tickets in a matter of 2 days, all by the same cop and his friend he was working with that night, and also his other night crew crony who hunted me down, in which I will show evidence of in court. It's time to put a stop to these criminals. Gonna end. I don't care if we have to invite 20,000 people with cars and motorhomes and vans to park in every lot and every street here. So it demands immediate attention, and these cops will be dealt with in the federal courts, and loss of wages, loss of jobs, and possible criminal charges, which are in line. And you will see there are vehicles parked on the street, sleeping, habitating, whatever. And this is all in the last week, where his supervisor told me, tell all your friends there's a new sheriff in town and we're going to get all of you. I don't know anybody here. He's just selectively picking and bullying whoever he wants. And that's why I wish I had the body cam tonight, because this doesn't have a camera flashlight. And I have to go without food for 9 days when they took my car, and now I have to go without food because I have to get a body cam. Because I just got another ticket, even though I left the park on time, and they say it's a parking ticket. I wasn't parked, as you can see in the video. I was driving out and behind cars, which took 4 minutes to get out. I was actually out of the park on time if they weren't sitting there blocking the entrance or exit. They're criminals. The police chief himself needs to be fired for a violation of human rights. And any of the people without any education or working knowledge of the Constitution must go back to training, and they must change the laws for all police officers to wear body cams, and also to have constant training in law, since none of them seem to know anything about the Constitution. Just driving around and getting out and punching people around and giving them tickets and towing their cars. They are meter maids with guns for intimidation. They are made to make money for the city and get rid of people they don't want to have here. These will all be going live on YouTube and to federal agencies and state agencies. Paul Grasso signing off. 21 minutes, 54 seconds. Sunday, October 6th.